Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Fantastic Four First Steps movie figure of Shalla-Bal, the Silver Surfer. Now I know, people are going to say, oh, it's a terrible figure, I don't want it, I'm passing on it, easy pass, it's not my Silver Surfer. Cool, got it, we got that out of the way. This is Silver Surfer, this is from the comics. Right, it's not just a female version of Silver Surfer. Well, I mean, it is a female version of Silver Surfer, but it's not like just a gender-swapped Silver Surfer. This is from the comics, Shalla-Bal, Silver Surfer. So not Norrin Rad Silver Surfer, but Shalla-Bal. So we have Silver Surfer. This is the first figure of the Fantastic Four wave that I will be reviewing. I got mine from Amazon. Big Bad Toy Store did send me an email that they are starting to process pre-orders soon. I think I got that either yesterday or the day before. So coming soon on some of those. Big Bad Toy Store so far was just Silver Surfer and the Thing. I've got Reed, Silver Surfer, Johnny Storm, and Human Torch from Amazon. So no Thing or no Sue yet from Amazon, unfortunately. But we got Silver Surfer. So here we have the aesthetic of the Marvel Studios Fantastic Four First Steps movie. So kind of has that retro theme to it, white box. You can see we got the Fantastic Four logo up at the top. We get the movie logo there in the front. Silver Surfer there. Silver Surfer. The artwork for Silver Surfer on the side there. Looking at the back of the package, we get this interesting little logos for the Fantastic Four. So you got Reed's stretching, Sue's sort of invisible hand, Thing's fist, and then Human Torch's finger. But anyway, Silver Surfer there, so let's go ahead and open it up, and let's take a look. She's kind of packed out. She's got that cool, like, fiery stand piece for her surfboard, which is awesome, which the other ones really don't come with a whole lot, so that is pretty cool. So let's open it up. All right, we're gonna start the video off here because I think I did something kind of cool here. Like, I'm not much of a figure photographer. I actually am pretty bad at it, in my opinion. And opinion of many others, in terms of like posing and everything like that. But I think I did something pretty good here. Like a little bit with the lighting and stuff. I like raised this orange light up and I could see a little bit of that flare up underneath. Look, that's kind of cool right there, right? I hate that the orange has to reflect so highly onto the figure. I mean, I could turn it a little bit and it doesn't reflect as much, but I think it looks pretty cool. But I'm having some fun with this figure. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But similar to the Norrin Rad comic Silver Surfer figure, there's some limitations into the articulation and things like that. But, you know, it's still fun. You know, we don't get a real good silver on this, unfortunately. It's kind of the molded plastic. I wish they would have gone full paint. They did that for the hair. The hair looks good. The hair is nice and silver. I wish they would have done it for the full figure. But the board is pretty cool. And then the stand, flame, fire, flying piece, radiant energy effect piece, whatever you want to call it, is pretty cool. I like it. I'm having some fun with it. Now let's get the full lights on. Let's check out the figure. Let's look at the board and all of that. Whew, okay, full lights on. Here we have Silver Surfer. And to get it into this pose, yeah, I had to kind of fudge a little bit because look at that broken ass ankle. You know, obviously not ideal. That's why I kind of at this angle. You can kind of hide it a little bit, although it's not perfect. But there we go. But now let's go ahead, get it off the stand, take a closer look at the figure, get into the fine details of things. Okay, so here's an up-close look at Silver Surfer. Now, does it actually look like the actress? I don't know, and I don't know that it's necessarily that important other than, like, shape, because she's kind of, like, either covered in silver paint or just full-on silver CGI. So I'm not really too much of a stickler. I don't know that it is perfect or anything, but I don't have any issues with it. Now, for one thing, that there's some things going on with the figure. It's not just a straight up silver color, which is what you would kind of normally think, like Silver Surfer, he's going to be silver, and then the reflection wise, you could just see some reflective color in the silver paint if it's done nicely with a nice metallic coat. This is not. There's no silver paint on it. It's just that silverish plastic, which I'm not a big fan of. It tends to look fairly cheap. Now, it doesn't look too bad full figure form, but in the hands, I really don't like it because the hands look really cheap and, you know, semi-translucent because the plastic color that they use. I'm just not a real big fan of it. But what they do here is they add in some orange color. Now, the orange is similar to that of the surfboard stand. It kind of adds just this orangey color to it, and I don't know if that's supposed to be kind of this energy effect or if it's just supposed to kind of replicate like a like a reflection, like a reflective type look to it. I don't really know, but you can kind of see it throughout. So there's a little bit of orange in there. Actually, hopefully you could see it. Like if I get the lights on there, hopefully, like if you look at her chest, you could see a little bit of the light. Like look at arms, kind of the same thing, a little bit in there. Looking at the torso, there's a little bit in there, and then there's a little bit on the fronts of the legs, on the thighs, and then right there on the shin. Nothing on the feet, nothing on the hands. So it's subtle. There's not a lot. There's going to be a little bit on the back of the legs. Even. Look at that. Hasbro doing some paint on the back of a figure. It's minimal, and it's actually... God, just right there. I don't even see any on this right leg. Just on the back of the left leg. And then on her back a little bit too, as you can see right there over the right shoulder blade. And then here over the left shoulder blade into the kind of the center. So there's some of that there. The silver of the hair is really nice because you could tell that that is painted. Painted a nice silver color. Silver, as in Silver Surfer. Why didn't we get that for the full figure? We should have. Looking at the face, the eyes look kind of cool, kind of white eyes in there, and then you could even see a little pupil and stuff. And then just kind of some heavy eyeliner, a little bit of lipstick in there to kind of bring out the details of the face. So that is pretty good. In terms of accessories, we get, dropped her. We get a couple of things. So we get two open hands. So you got a left open hand and a right open hand. Same basic female hands that we see all the time. The problem is we only got one fist. So we got a fist for her left hand. Focus. Lift for her... fist for her left hand, and then the right hand does not get a fist, but we get this cupped hand here, and that's to hold on to the board. So similar to how I had it on that first shot, like she can hold the board there, or kind of how they have it in one image is like she's going at the beach, and she's the board's too big. How is she supposed to do that? You can hold it like there, but that's crazy. But like, let me zoom out and make show you. The board's huge. The board is very wide. Just for a quick comparison, look at the comic board versus the MCU board. Like, that's a huge difference. It's kind of crazy. So she can't really cup it. I mean, she could cup it when it's in certain places, but you know, she can hold on to the board in that sense there too. So that's what we have going on. She's got bare feet on there, so that is cool. The comic Silver Surfer had a like boot type feet, and this is the HasLab Galactus Silver Surfer there. So I got the two that I'll be doing comparison with, but she's got the bare feet look here, which is cool. So that is the Silver Surfer Shalla-Bal figure. Boom. And then taking a look at the board, as you could see again, very large board, so it's definitely taller than the comic version. And then we get the foot peg towards the front of the board instead of the back of the board. There is still only one, however, so just a heads up on that. And then you could see the sculpt of it. We get this line work in here, so it's not like a full like solid surface board. This kind of makes it seem like almost like an organic look to it, or like it grows and stretches type of thing, and that's kind of cool. And then you can kind of see a little bit of that orangish color mixed into it. Like if you could see at that angle, you could kind of see it, which is good. But they didn't do it on the back half of the board. It's just there on the front half. So that's kind of interesting. And then here we get this flight stand type of deal. So it's got solid base under there. I was hoping to put like a light under there to kind of get it to glow. Unfortunately, I could not. I'm sure you could pop that out. I don't know if that kind of helps provide some stability into the stand. It feels like it's glued in there pretty good. Although I'm sure it would be fairly easy to pull on out if you want to get a light in there. But you could see kind of some gradient as it kind of gets a little bit more translucent, and then it kind of darkens up a bit there. And then it just has this flat surface there, and then you could see the board just kind of sits into it. And it holds in place fairly nice because of the friction hold, as you could see, because the board is not standard size. It kind of widens out, so it can hold in place pretty well. So that is good. The thing about it is, though, is the foot peg, as good it is, how good can we hold? She would not be able to hold on her own. If you're very slow with it and don't move it around, it would hold. Oh, there she goes. But those are the accessories for Silver Surfer, so not too shabby. Let's go ahead and check out how well she moves. Okay, so Shalla-Bal, Silver Surfer. She can look up a bit because her hair kind of does go out, and there's a little bit of flexibility to it. But, I just popped the head off. But then when you do that, it kind of goes weird onto the neck, but she can look up a little bit, which is okay. She can look down all the way. You get a full rotation in that head, and you can get some good pivot going on with the neck, so that's pretty cool. The arm you can get to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You got an upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbow, gives you that much bend there at the elbow. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on all of the hands, the open hands, the fist, and the cup hand. Standard horizontal hinge. We get the diaphragm cut, so you can tilt Silver Surfer to her left that much. You could tilt her to her right that much there. She can lean back that much there, so not too bad. But coming forward, like a whole lot of nothing going on. And then a swivel at the diaphragm. Legs go out that far apart there. She can kick forward very, very high, as you can see there. And then the leg goes back ever so slightly. You got an upper thigh cut in there. And that swivel is not loose, but it swivels a little easier than I would have liked. Double jointed knee gives you a nice bend at the knee. No calf swivel or boot swivel of any kind. Foot hinges all the way down, all the way up. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So pretty standard for female figures at this point. I don't think there is anything unique about this particular figure. Like, I think this is probably just the standard female figure body mold. I don't have one handy to be able to do a proper comparison. I do have a Phoenix figure, and the legs could be the same. I don't know that the legs are the same. The legs might be the same. It's hard. It's kind of hard to tell. The legs are probably the same. Like, I don't think they went anything unique with this figure. Obviously, the body's different because it's super articulated. That would have been nice if they would have gone the super articulated body for Silver Surfer. I think that would have helped out quite a bit with doing certain types of poses on the board. But unfortunately, they did not do that. Okay, so for some comic comparison, here is the HasLab Galactus version of Norrin Rad, and then here we have the Walgreens exclusive, which is also very similar to the reissue that happened earlier this year, I think it was. There, and you can see the most silver is the Walgreens exclusive. The HasLab wasn't as silver, and then this one is even less silver than the HasLab one, but that could be in part to the orange coloring that they added to her, although I do like that silver more than this silver. It's just not screaming silver enough for me. I wish they would have gone this route for sure, or at least that route. This seems to be the less out of all three. And because people I know will want to see, yep, you can easily just put the comic Silver Surfer onto this surfboard. So if you were looking for a bigger surfboard, maybe this is a figure that you would want to pick up just to at least do that. Now, at the same time, yes, you could use the Shalla-Bal MCU onto the comic surfboard, although it's just not as fun because the surfboard is smaller. I kind of like the larger surfboard because you got some more surface area to kind of play around with, but you do as you choose on what you want to do. Okay, so Silver Surfer is the first figure of the wave that I will be reviewing, so no side-by-side comparisons with the rest of the movie figures. I will do them gradually as we go along, because I will open them up as I do the reviews. So that is the Silver Surfer. Comic Silver Surfer still wins for me because of the silver color, but I really do like this board, and this flame stand is really cool, something that, would benefit from, like, if we had something like that in the comic version. Although I'm trying to think now with the HasLab, I haven't opened it in years and I don't have the stand out. I think that one does have a stand for the surfboard, right? Man, I'd have to go back and look. But this one, it's fun. It's not great. It's definitely a cool figure for sure. And then, the stand piece is awesome. This stand piece will not work with the comic one, though. As you can see, it doesn't hold in place. Unless you use like sticky tack or something to kind of hold it down. You could do something like that, and then that would actually work out for you, but otherwise it's, not kind of a no-go. And then here it's just because the size, friction will hold it in place, and that is pretty cool there. So that is the Silver Surfer, Shalla-Bal. I'm excited for the movie. Hopefully it's done well. Hopefully it's really cool. I hope it will be good. We shall see, but you guys let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for the Fantastic Four First Steps movie? Are you excited for the Silver Surfer? Do you have this figure on the way? Are you looking to pick it up? Links in the video description below if you're looking to order it. But give me your guys' thoughts in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.